Good morning. This is Crystal Woods with Seasons in the Vine, and it's Fresh Friday. And today I want to talk about keep it private until it's done. And this is super countercultural right now, where we literally have to document what we eat, who we see, our coffee, what God's doing in our life. And it's annoying after a while. And the Lord's been talking to me about obscurity for many, many months now, almost 2 years, where he was really teaching me, like, if you want to do something that's really pure and really see me move, God speaking this, then don't tell anybody about it. Just keep it quiet and let it really be an organic move of God, similar to what we would see in the Bible before they had social media and the ability to advertise, when really everything was documented through word of mouth and real relationships. And so I was flipping through probably Instagram and came across an ad. You know how they put those in your feed? And the phrase on this ad was keep it private until it's done. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I like that a lot. And that's biblical. Keep it private. You don't need to tell people about it. You don't need to tell people about everything. And I think we do because we're really starved for attention because we don't spend time with God. Yes, I did say that. The more affirmation we're looking to get from people and the more kudos we're looking to get from people, it's really coming from a place of orphan, where we're not getting our needs met from the source, which is God himself and that relationship that we have with him. And so we're looking to share every little thing that's going on with people because we need attention. And what that really means is we're living like an orphan and we're not going to the correct place for the very attention that we actually need. So keep it private until it's done. The Lord's been teaching me a lot about obscurity, and like every time we proclaim or give a summary of what God is even doing, and it's like it does take glory from him when we talk about how he used us. And churches do this all the time. And it's just, it's a little cringy, because why, if God is really doing something, I don't think we need to tell people about it, because people are just going to know about it because of that thing called fruit. Fruit is actually going to speak louder than anything you're going to say, because you can say a lot of things, but the fruit is really what we'll be measured by and judged by, and the way other people should look at us as well. And of course, I told you this was from the Bible. And so in Matthew 6, which has been on my Fresh Friday list for a while, it's all about being obscure. It's all about being with God and not having to broadcast everything that's going on. And you've probably noticed years ago, when I needed more attention and affirmation from people, I posted a lot more. And these days, I'm just getting quieter and quieter and quieter. Sometimes I even debate still doing Fresh Fridays. We'll see how that goes. But getting quieter and quieter and quieter. And the Lord was he's been talking to me about motives a lot. Like, what are the motives? And the more you have your motives flushed out, the less and less you'll be. Because you won't be looking for other people to affirm you, affirm your lifestyle, affirm your likes and dislikes, affirm anything, because we're always looking for somebody to affirm us, to give us those likes, because we are literally absent in our relationship with God the Father. And I just really believe that. Like, I just think that's where that comes from. And so I remember early on in ministry, we're going to get into the scriptures in a second, but early on in ministry, like, I wanted to be so validated. I needed people to be like, yes, God is on your life. Because I wasn't getting that directly from him. And now, like, I don't need you to tell me much about any of that, because I actually just know through my relationship with him what he has assigned me for, how I'm anointed, how he moves through me. And it's all just about him. And I don't need somebody else to affirm anything, because I am already affirmed. And I think it just took me a while to get there, but I'm getting there. And the more I get there, the less and less is going out, unless I'm really under the unction of the Holy Spirit to do something. And we see this. Jesus says this in Matthew 6, beware of practicing your righteousness before men to be noticed by them. I mean, come on. Is this not absolutely what we see all the time, especially on social media? Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. I think this means even like we don't have to recap how God moves at our ministry events and our church services, because if he really moved, there'll be so much fruit from that. That is the testimony. Like Jesus didn't have the testimony of social media or newspapers. He had the testimony of his Father bringing fruit out of what was going on. Like it was an organic move of God without any external things happening to make that go on. It was private. And whatever came out of it was something that came out of it through literally word of mouth and people's lives being changed. Otherwise, you'll have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. I mean, basically, you're going to get all that affirmation here, and you're getting your reward right now, not later when it really would be nice to get that. When therefore you give alms, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be honored by men. Once again, who are we looking to be affirmed by? Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, that your alms may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. And when you pray, you are not to be as the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and on the street corners in order to be seen by men. All of this is to be seen by other people. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your inner room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. Keep it private. Keep it private till it's done. That's what this whole thing is about. And when you're praying, do not use meaningless repetition as the Gentiles do, for they suppose that they will be heard because of their many words. And then Jesus teaches the Lord's Prayer. He goes on in verse 16 to say, and whenever you fast, do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance in order to be seen as fasting by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face. So don't look down and out because you're fasting, so that you may not be seen fasting by men, but by your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. And then he goes on to talk about laying up your treasures on earth. And that's really what this is about. It is keeping it private, keeping it quiet, being obscure about what's going on, because it's between you and God, and it's between you and whatever's going on with the people around you, and it doesn't need to be something that everybody knows about. And that's just so in the face. And it was difficult for me because there was something really big happening almost a couple of years ago, and your first instinct is like, well, I should just tell everybody about this. Like, wow, look what God is doing or whatever. And the Lord was like, no, let's keep it pure. And let's not let any of that, it's like a mixture, get involved in this. And that way, whatever does happen, it won't be because you did anything or you said anything or you promoted anything. It'll be because truly people were touched by God. And but that's so risky, because in our modern world, we're told how to build something, right? But this is counter. And if you want to do a build in the biblical way, it would be this idea of the secret place and the inner chamber and the obscurity and being pulled back and really checking your motives and becoming less and less and less and quieter and quieter and quieter. So we are our own promoters. These are some little one-liners that I love to give you. We are our promoters instead of God validating us. And so we move towards promoting ourselves. We move towards telling people how God moved through our church or our ministry or us. Oh, wow, and we're promoting ourselves like it has something special to do with us. We need so much affirmation in this day because we are not spending time with God. And that's really where that comes from. Do you need all of that? Then you have a big gap somewhere going on in here. And I know because I was. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can recognize it because I remember how desperate I was for other Christians to affirm that God was using me. And now it's just like, no, because it's not a question anymore. Those things are settled. And we have to get to a place of settled, but you only get through a place of being settled when you really receive your adoption and just know that you're the beloved. And he's already accepted you. It's just a different place to be. And if this is a great question, I really liked this one. Ask yourself this the next time you're ready to post something or talk about something or whatever, promote. If he is the only one who will ever see what you've done or what's happened, is that enough? Is that okay if he's the only one? Because it's an audience of one, so we say. But is he really the only one we're looking for that affirmation from? And if he's the only one that sees it and it's just something that stays completely obscure and nobody else knows about it, are we going to be okay with that? That's where I'm at. And I hope that whatever way this hits you today, it just speaks to you as the Lord would want it to in whatever area of your life it needs. And we'll just keep learning how to live in the secret place and keeping things quiet and private and letting God get all the glory. I'll see you next week, Lord willing.